Daven Michaels is a celebrity in his own right. He is the CEO of 123 Employee, the biggest outsourcing resource for internet people and for people which are just getting started, and for smaller businesses, bigger businesses. And I had also the chance to meet him and also interview him for my TV show. He has been on Fox and on Fox, on CBS News and CNBC. I mean, he's really a celebrity on his own right. He's a best-selling author, and he's a very, very nice and down-to-earth guy, which I'm sure that you're going to definitely benefit from his presentation.
Perfect. Okay, great. Well, Ernesto, first of all, thanks so much for having me. And I had the privilege of visiting Dubai for the first time out in the UAE earlier this year, and boy, what an amazing place. And I look forward to seeing so much more of it, and thank you so much for the opportunity to come out and speak. And before we get started, I just want to say something, and that is right here, right now, at this moment in time, I'm living my dream. My dream was always to travel the world, to speak, to empower, to teach, to hang out with like-minded people just like you, the people that are on this summit right now. I came from a very different world where I didn't have like-minded people to hang out with, so it is my truest honor and privilege to be here with you today, and I just want to say, give yourselves a pat on the back. Thank you so much for showing up. It means quite a bit to me. It means a great deal to me. So what is your dream? I hope you're dreaming big. I know if you're on this webinar that you are dreaming big. Perhaps it's having your own private island, or maybe it's just spending a week each month in an amazing destination, or perhaps it's a little simpler, maybe a round of golf every morning, or spending more time with your friends and family. Whatever it is, I want to make sure you're connected with your dreams. And so I have a very, very important question for you, and that is, how would your life be different if you had a team behind you? How would your life be different? Well, I'll tell you how my life has been different over the last year or so, and if you could just follow from left to right here, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Over the last year, I had the privilege of sharing the stage with Bill Clinton to 6,000 people in the UK. Went with my friends to the Caribbean, hung out with my kids in Mexico. As you can see, we're sipping margaritas there. Maryland's is a virgin. Took my girl on a cruise, kissed a stingray in the Caribbean. Took my girl to Vegas for the weekend on the private jet, went to London, fed monkeys in Bali, walked Abbey Road Studios in the UK, watched the sunset over the Andaman Sea in Thailand, went to Paris, hung out with gurus in Nepal, had street food in Singapore, took 15 of my closest friends to a private island for 10 days in the Philippines, shot a music video in the Philippines, went to the very top of the world, Mount Everest, and hung out with the man, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, I'm not showing these pictures to you to impress you, although I suppose you might think they are a little impressive, but I am showing these pictures to impress upon you that whatever you want in your life is entirely possible. So I'll ask you this question one more time, and that is, how would your life be different if you had a team behind you? Now, don't get me wrong, we work hard, but we make it look pretty fun, don't we? I want to show you how to do this. All right, so what you're about to discover and what I'm going to teach you here today is how you can start and or increase your business today, how to create a marketing blueprint for your business, which most entrepreneurs don't have, how to have that plan implemented by someone else for you, how to have unlimited leads for life. And I want to stop there for a second. Now let's think about your business for a moment, or the business that you're looking to start. If somebody were to show you how to have unlimited leads for life, that would change your business. That would change your life. That would change everything. If you ask all entrepreneurs, what are your biggest challenges? What are your biggest struggles? It's all going to come back to business. I don't have enough business. There'll be some that'll say, well, my business is growing too fast. That's one of the problems we have at 123. But besides that, everybody needs more business. So here's my promise to you. Before I leave you in the next 17, 18 minutes or so, I'm going to share with you several strategies to generate unlimited leads for life for you and your business. So stay tuned and get ready to take copious notes. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to start living your dreams today. And my promise to you also is twofold. One is I'm going to show you how to increase the profits in your business. And two, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how to get your life back. All right, so for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Daven Michaels. I've been self-employed for nearly 3 decades. I have about over 400 employees today. We have several centers in the Philippines. We employ people on 3 different continents. I made my first million at the age of 25. And if you're not familiar with 123 Employee, we are the premier outsourcing center in the Philippines. We work with entrepreneurs all over the globe. We do their busy work. We do their internet marketing, their social media, their telemarketing, their back office tasks, all the busy stuff in their business so they can focus on the income-generating activities in their business and the things that juice them and excite them. For many years, I was the biggest electronic music event producer in the U.S. I would throw parties for 15 to 20,000 people a night. How'd you like to be on my guest list? I'm an international speaker and coach, outsourcing expert, New York Times best-selling author, producer, and all-around good guy. And as you can imagine, things are pretty awesome. And they are. I never could have dreamed they could have been as amazing. But I have to tell you, I come from very humble beginnings. And if you're an entrepreneur, you can probably relate as well. Nothing really came easy to me. Nothing was handed to me on a silver platter. I had to work hard. And my guess is if you're watching this webinar, you were a hard worker too. So let's show you how to make that hard work pay off. All right, so I want you to write this down. Write this down in big letters on your paper right now. Start taking notes. And that is outsourcing equals freedom. Outsourcing equals freedom. Now, what's your time worth? Now, how do we calculate what our time value is? Well, we take the amount of income that we're making and we divide it by the amount of hours that we're working. And this gives us our time value. This shows us what our time is worth. But the reality is that's a very seriously flawed equation. And here's why. Let's say business is going great. Let's say your time is now worth $2,000 an hour. Can you then go out and buy more time? No, of course not. Can Bill Gates buy more time? No. Can Warren Buffett buy more time? No. Can Martha Stewart buy more time? Well, actually, if you know Martha Stewart, you know that she actually did buy some time. But besides Martha, none of us can buy time. So really, your time is precious. And it's time that we start treating our time like it's precious. I want to make sure that you're doing the things that juice you. For me, it's hanging out with my family and having incredible adventures. And I want the same for you. So here are some of the challenges that other business owners are having. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough help, too much to do, and they don't know how to get started. Now, how many of you know businesses like this? How many of you are businesses like this? All right, so what I'm going to do over the next few minutes is I'm going to share with you how to create a positive outsourcing ROI in your business. And what do I mean by this? Well, this is a term that we coined several years ago. And it means taking outsourced virtual assistants and getting them to pay for themselves. And when you do that, you're going to grow your business. You're going to grow. You're going to get more and more employees. You're going to have more and more business. And you're going to have a positive outsourcing ROI. So when we look at positive outsourcing ROI, there's a few things that we have to look at. First of all, what is your time value? And we've just talked about how to calculate your time value. So you've got that down. Next thing we want to look at is what is the lifetime value of a customer? Now, I've had the privilege of working with entrepreneurs all over the globe, and as a result, I know that none of you know what your lifetime value is of your client. Now, we don't have the time or the data here today to figure that out, but I really encourage you over the next week to get out there and figure out what the lifetime value of your client is, because you don't know what you can spend to obtain a client if you don't know what the lifetime value of your clients are. Okay, now next thing you want to do is you want to look at what is the value of 40 extra hours a month to pursue your business and personal goals, and then finally, what's the value of a few extra hours with your family each week? And of course, that's priceless. All right, so my aim is to share with you how to create a positive outsourcing ROI. And I did make a promise to you, unlimited leads for life. So let's jump into that right now. Now, if you are a business person, my guess is you are on LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, my guess is that 9 out of 10 people on this webinar right now on the summit are on LinkedIn. My second guess, though, is that 9 out of 10 of you are not utilizing LinkedIn to generate business. You're just on it because LinkedIn is social media for business people. Now let's talk about how to monetize that and how to turn it into a lead gen machine or a business generating machine. So here's how we're going to do it. Very simple. You're going to go to this website. It's onelinkedin.co.uk. That's onelinkedin.co.uk. Now, when you go to this website, you're going to sign up for this list. And this list is the largest group of open networkers on LinkedIn. And what are open networkers? These are people that actually want to do business with you. They've agreed to become friends with you. Now, I have to tell you, this is going to cost you some money. When you go to this website, it's going to cost you $50 a year. Now, if you don't have $50 a year, it's not time for you to start your business. So you're going to have to go to this website. You're going to have to bite the bullet and spend $50. By the way, this is not my website. This is just a site that you go to. So once you sign up for this system, within 24 hours, you'll start receiving you'll start receiving friend requests in your LinkedIn. And they will never stop. They will keep coming and coming and coming. Day in, day out, you will receive friend requests all day long. Now, what most people do on LinkedIn is when they receive a friend request, they simply accept it. But to the right of that is a box where you can put in your magical marketing message, a templatized message. For example, my templatized message goes something like this. Hey, thanks so much for adding me as your friend. It's great to be connected with you. I'm CEO of 123 Employee. We're the premier outsourcing centers in the Philippines. We have hundreds of employees. We work with entrepreneurs all over the globe. We do their internet marketing, their social media, their telemarketing, their back office tasks, all the busy stuff in their business so that they can focus on the income-generating activities in their business and the things that really excite them. Go ahead and click here to get a free copy of my new book, Outsource This. Okay? Now, excuse me, why am I having them click on a link? Because I want them to be on my email list. And today, is it important that we have a big email list? It is vitally important. Now, most people think the reason we have big email lists is because more eyeballs equals more dollars. And yes, I will say that's true, but I'm going to give you a more important reason. Here's why you want to have a big fat list. Let's say that my list is about 140,000, and that is my list. I have about 140,000 followers. And let's say you have a list of 1,000 followers, and you come to me and you say, hey, Daven, let's joint venture together. You offer your offer to my list, I'll offer your offer to my list. But back and forth. In other words, you offer my offer, I'll offer your offer. Okay. Now, what am I going to say? Most likely, I'm going to say no because that person doesn't have a big list. Now, if they have the most amazing new software or program that they've created, perhaps I would market it to my list because at the end of the day, number one for me is providing value to my list. But otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But let's say somebody like Ernesto came to me, and he has a huge list, and he said, hey, Daven, you promote for me, I'll promote for you. What am I going to say? I'm going to say, let's do it. So it's important to have a huge list in your business, and this is one way you're going to do it. As a matter of fact, you'll start having leads within 24 hours. Now, is this something you should be doing in your business? Absolutely. Is this something, though, that you should personally be doing? Should you be sending out the messages all day long? Absolutely not. And that is where you want to outsource it or leverage it to someone else. Okay, so here's another strategy for you. This will generate unlimited leads for life for you and your business. Now, would you agree that Craigslist has more business than there's enough business on Craigslist to last you 20 lifetimes? And the answer is absolutely. So how do we harness the power of Craigslist? Well, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go to this website, and it's Search Tempest. Now, my guess is that you've never heard of Search Tempest. I speak on stages with hundreds and sometimes thousands of people on the stage, and I'll ask, who here has heard of Search Tempest? And literally 1 to 5 people will raise their hands. And it's usually 1 to 5 people that have seen me speak somewhere else in the world. Nobody knows about this website. It's crazy. Now, what is Search Tempest? So write it down, searchtempest.com. It's a free website. And at Search Tempest crunches all of the data that's available on Craigslist. So what you do is, let's say you want to do business with dentists. You'll type in dentist, and then you can pick dentists in your own backyard, in Dubai, in California. You could go nationwide. You could go worldwide. And you click submit. Within a minute or so, it will crunch all that data, and it'll give you what's called an RSS file or an RSS feed file. Now, you may or may not know what an RSS file is, and let me tell you, it doesn't matter. It's actually a file that's used for blogs, but it doesn't matter. It's a text file. You're going to take this text file. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to GoogleReader.com, Google Reader. Now, some of you may be thinking or saying to yourself right now, wait a minute, Google Reader doesn't exist anymore, and that is true. Google has just discontinued, or a while ago, they discontinued the Google Reader program. But that doesn't matter. You're going to go to GoogleReader.com. And the folks at Google were nice enough to take other sites that are similar to Google Reader, and they've created a directory on that website. So you'll go there, you'll pick any one of those Google Reader-esque sites, you'll grab one of those sites, and then you'll go to that site and you'll upload that list that you created to that site. What it will then do, it will break apart each ad, and it'll have ad and then space to send them an email, ad and then a space to send them an email, ad and then a space to send them an email. And what you'll do is you'll have a templatized message, and all you will do is simply copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send all day long. Now, Is it something that you should do for your business? Absolutely. Will it generate unlimited leads for you in your business? Absolutely. But is it something that you should do personally? No, of course not. You should outsource it or delegate it to somebody else because it's not the highest and best use of your time. Okay, here's another strategy for you. Now, if you're like me, you live under this motto or credo, if you will, that if you're not growing, you're dying. And I know that if you're taking the time out to be on this summit, that's you. You're a person that invests in your personal growth. And that is critical. You know, it used to be 10 years ago that you could invest some time in yourself, you could learn a craft, and then you were set. Unfortunately, you can't do that anymore. Today, you have to be constantly educating yourself on what is the latest and greatest in technology and methodology. You have no choice because if you don't do it, somebody else out there is going to do it, and they're going to steal your business. And why is that? Because the wealth of the world's information is available to everyone today on the Internet. And so if you're not learning the latest and greatest, if you're not keeping up on everything that's new, somebody else is going to do it, and they're going to take away your business. So it's critical that you do that. So I go to events all the time. I always learn at all types of business events. I love to learn these strategies. So if you go to events, there are generally two reasons why we go. One is to learn, and the other is to network. Now, most of us, when we go to network, we'll come with maybe 100 business cards. We'll pass out 100 business cards. We'll come home with 100 business cards. We'll put them on our desk. We'll get busy. 6 months later, we clean our desk, and then we throw away those business cards because they're now obsolete, and we didn't get to them in time. So I have a better strategy for you, and here's how it works. So when you go to an event, as soon as you get home, this is what I do. I have a stack of business cards, and I walk over to my flatbed scanner. I place them 8 up at a time. I hit scan, and then I lay out the next cards and hit scan, and then I have a PDF file. I upload that PDF file. I forward it to my virtual assistant. She types them up, puts them into a spreadsheet. Then she uploads them into Infusionsoft, which is the CRM system that we use, but any CRM will work. That triggers an email series out to my new prospects. That triggers a message to our team to call out and set up appointments with all of those people and put them on our Google calendars, and then the sales team reaches out to all those people. Now, I have to tell you, I speak all over the world, and quite often I'm asked to return back to the same event. And without exception, every time I come back, there will always be one person that will come up to me and say, Daven, you know, I met you. It's good to see you again. I met you last year at this event. I have to tell you, I came to this event. I passed out 100 business cards, and nobody ever called me. Except your people. You guys called me and emailed me the next day, and I've been your client for the last year. Now, what is the difference between successful and unsuccessful people? The people that struggle. One key factor that is so simple, and that is successful people show up. That's the difference. That's the big difference. Successful people show up and they take action. And as you can see, this is a perfect example of how that works, and at the same time of how we can use virtual assistants to get leverage in our business. So I hope I shared some great information with you. These are very simple strategies, but if you use them in your business, they will generate unlimited leads for life. And I have a whole bunch more of them for you, and I'll share with you in just a moment how to get those. But I have a question for you. How many of you just know right now that you want to get your life back? All right, so I do have free stuff for all of you, and I want to thank you for your time. And I also want to share more strategies with you on how you can grow your business leveraging outsourced virtual assistants. So here's what I have for you, some free gifts. First thing is I have a copy of my book. Now, one of my books, Outsource Smart, just became a New York Times bestseller. This was the predecessor to that book. My first book, Outsource This. Well, it was actually my second book, but my first book on outsourcing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a digital copy of that, and we'll send that over to you. In addition to that, I know that many of you spend time in transit, and that you don't have a lot of time to read. So I'm actually going to give you the audio book as well. And we'll give you both the physical and the digital copy. If you're in the Middle East, we'll send you the digital copy. Also, I'm going to give you a software app that was created by our Vice President, Vijal Palmer, and it's called the Outsourcing Blueprint. And it's very cool. You plug in how many hours a month you're working, or how many hours a month you plan to be working, and how much revenue you're making, and or how much revenue you plan to be making, and it'll spit out what your time value is, and then it'll show you what tasks could easily, what tasks you're wasting time on and how they can easily be outsourced or delegated to somebody else. We're going to give you that as well. I'm also going to give you our 123 VA service guide, which shows you the things that we're very good at and the things that we're not so good at, so that we set your expectations so you understand really how this stuff works. And then finally, I'm going to give you my 5-part list building video series, which, again, super important to build a huge list. We talked about how critical this is, and we talked about the reasons for building a great big list. One is, of course, eyeballs and more dollars, but also joint ventures. It's key to our growth. Could you imagine if you had, 100,000 emails going out every single week in your business because your joint venture partners were sending those out? So it is key to grow a big list, and these were the strategies that we shared on this portion of the summit. Okay, so who wants to get everything for free? Simply go to MiddleEastInternetSummit.com/Daven. That's MiddleEastInternetSummit.com/Daven, and you can get all those free tools, software, books, audio, and goodies today. Thanks so much for your time, and as I finally want to say, once again, it is my highest privilege to be here with you today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your incredibly hectic schedules. Thank you.